Hawks just got eliminated again from the play-in again. Another disappointing season again. Another season of mediocrity again. It's literally just the same thing, different year. My statements on that tweet or in that tweet or whatever aren't even necessarily 100% about Trae Young. This is more of an indictment on the franchise, right? I do still believe Trae Young is a very overrated player. I do still believe that the Atlanta Hawks made a mistake in drafting Trae Young. Do not get me wrong. This is not that type of bail. But people in the comment section, what do you expect from a very flawed player in Trae Young that is 6 foot, 5'11", 5'8", or whatever on the defensive end? You're right. So don't draft that guy. Like what do you expect? You do still expect a little bit more effort than he shows. The quote unquote improvements on defense, if they're not consistent, who cares? But looking back on the totality of it, those claims and statements about he's a top X guard don't matter because he has the ball in his hand all the time. Like that shit just doesn't matter. We've seen guards pop up so much over the past few years in the NBA because offensive schemes and systems have, changed and done all these other things. Now, while I do still think there is some merit to just having the ability of being so productive, I can still give a round of applause for that. That round of applause is probably going to be 2 claps. No matter how you slice it, no matter how you dice it, no matter what excuse you give, Trae Young is still a very overrated player. Trae Young is still a very overrated player. You can talk about the team construction, which again, I agree. Look, Atlanta could turn this version of OKC. The front office for Atlanta could turn this version of OKC into a first round exit. If you just switch franchises, they would turn this version of OKC into a first round exit. Um, but with that being said, Trae Young doesn't make it any easier to play around with who he is as a player and a play style. I think his market has gotten tremendously worse. The conversations about him going to LA have stopped. The conversations about him going to San Antonio have stopped. As we look around the league, uh, apparently he has like one more year on the deal. I don't know who is knocking down Trae Young's door. For real, for real. I do not. I cannot see a team begging to get Trae Young on their roster. The Miami Heat, after he's been obliterated by them 2 of these last 7 years or whatever the case may be in the playoffs. Um, every other place has a solution. So I just don't. I don't know. I don't know at this point. Oz, how you feeling?
Feeling good, man. Free Trey Young, man.
Yeah, free him and put him where? I mean,
Uh, you act like he gonna be out of the league or some shit though.
no, I think that reality is about to hit him very hard, or there's going to be a conversation in Atlanta about him coming back. Um, you know,
What's wrong with him coming back though?
um, hey, respinning that wheel again, rewatching a movie that you've already seen with a bad ending. I guess I totally guess.
Because I'm just like, you're not really gonna get nothing. I ain't gonna say you ain't gonna get nothing back on, but I mean, he only has 1 year left on his contract, right? So,
Yeah.
so if I'm a team, 9 times out of 10, if I'm a team trading for him, it's because I feel like he's gonna sign here. So I'll just rather just wait and sign instead of giving up my pieces. So Atlanta low key fucked. It ain't even really like his market about to be big.
Boston, no. Brooklyn, no. New York, no. Philly, no. Toronto, no. Chicago, no. Cleveland, no. Detroit, no. Indiana, no. Milwaukee, no. Charlotte, no. Miami, no. Orlando, no. Washington, probably not. No. Denver, no. Minnesota, no. OKC, definitely not. Portland, no. Utah, no. Golden State, no. Clippers, no. Los Angeles Lakers, no. Suns, no. Kings, I
The
guess.
Kings,
Mavericks,
Kings
no.
hit.
Rockets, no. Grizzlies, no. Pelicans, no. Spurs, no.
I can see the Kings, but who they can't like. If I'm the Kings, why am I trading you somebody? He a free agent next year.
Yeah, any sort of trades or anything else would be a step back for him as a player. I don't know if that's what he's like interested in. Um, this is the worst 7 years. I mean, this is worse than the Joe Johnson era, the Jeff Teague era, Josh Smith era.
How do you feel as an Atlanta Hawks fan?
I don't. I mean,
Okay.
I don't feel no type of way. I've been. I said from draft day it was a mistake. I've had to wait 7 years or whatever it's been. I guess I'll have to wait a little bit longer. This guy has been an overrated player. Been not good. Been all the things. Everything that's being said today is the same thing that existed on draft night.
I mean, it's just only like if the Luca, it's just because he's tied to Luca, bro. It's not. That's the only reason why that's a bad pick. That pick is
If
not bad.
if oh I I agree. It all context included, it's not a bad pick. But with that being said, he's just not a good player. So especially if we're talking about franchise building and doing all these other things, I wouldn't have a I just wouldn't have him.
How much of it do you think it's really on him though? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I just don't fuck with him mostly because he just doesn't play defense. I don't know if it was you, but somebody just posted like like a 15-second sequence where he just didn't do nothing. Oh, it was the Davion Mitchell sequence, and that was kind of like sad to watch. It's shit like that that kind of puts me off to him. But how much like do you really blame him for over the past couple of years?
The Davion Mitchell sequence is just is Trae Young in there, back in there. Um,
I don't know.
how much blame? I don't know a percentage, because again, the sentiments are a lot about the organization as a whole. To
Well,
be
yeah, 'cause
quite honest with you,
that's my thing is like you said it earlier, right? You don't draft a short guy if he can't play defense. Well, I think you can if you're willing to build around him.
Now,
But I don't think they
yeah,
built
Trey
enough.
Young probably should have went for the game winner instead of tying the game. But just my thoughts.
That too. Either way, I just don't feel like they built enough around him. I mean, I don't know how much of an opportunity they had to, but I don't feel like they built enough around him over the past.
I agree. They make
Wow.
terrible decisions based off around Trey Young. I don't think it's time to give up on him. I think you're overreacting no more.
go ahead, Corey.
Where do you think he's rated? Because I don't see where you get overrated from.
Yeah,
Um, the conversations of him being like a top, I don't know, 4 point guard, even 6 point guard, and a top whatever player in the league need to really be investigated. The things that he takes away from the game should really be put into consideration. Um, if we're evaluating portability, I'd rather have a dude who is less productive and more portable than Trey Young at this point.
Can I ask you
Mm,
how many players that are ranked in your opinion over Trey Young as a point guard fill in the holes that you say that he has in his game? Like they don't have those problems.
that's a good question.
Just as a point guard.
Just point guards. So if you think Trey Young is he's the eighth best point guard in the league, 7 and up, how many of those guys don't have the same issues that Trae Young has?
Let's say maybe like, let me go to NBA. Let me go to teams. I don't think that exists in like Jalen Brunson. I think Jalen Brunson is over
Okay.
Trae Young.
What holes does Trae Young
Okay.
have that Jalen Brunson doesn't?
I think I think Jalen Brunson is a better defender and more consistent scorer, efficient scorer, I should say, than Trae Young.
I can give you the efficient scoring, but if we're talking about better defender, I mean comparing -5 to -2 isn't, that's not moving me.
It
Because
doesn't.
Jalen
It
Brunson,
doesn't. It doesn't matter if it moves you. You just. I'm telling you what's better. You think a negative
but it's
two.
still a hole though. It's not like he's a good defender. He's still a negative on defense, so that's still a hole.
Right. Again, they're gonna exist. I mean, it's a point guard. I don't expect point guards to be necessarily lockdown defenders. What they do on the other end and how bad he is on once on this in this hole make Trae Young just so much worse. So again, I think that Jalen Brunson isn't like a great defender, lockdown or whatever. We could both put him in the category of bad defender. I don't. I'm not even gonna fight you there. I don't know a lot of times where that Davion Mitchell sequence exists for somebody like a Jalen Brunson.
Fair,
That was a
fair.
good, that was a
Jalen
good point.
Brunson.
That was a good point that I was gonna make too. Because even though I low key agree that he has not got a lot of help, I'm not gonna lie. Like I've seen Steph Curry put. I'm not trying to compare him, but at the same time, he's the guard and he does put effort on defense when he needs to. That Davion Mitchell sequence, not trying to like overblow it, but that was pretty horrible, bro. And I'll
Shohei
be
got his
pissed if
girl
I'm
pregnant.
watching. You said what?
Shohei's on the paternity leave list. This nigga's a real comer. Yeah, shit like that though. Like, and I can say that about I can say that about a lot of guards. I believe Tyrese Halliburton. You know, I'm not gonna say that, but it's just it's stuff like that, Damo.
I mean, I feel you. It's just these complaints about Trae Young outside of probably, and I'm really thinking outside of maybe Shea, these issues, the issues I see with Trae Young is pretty much the same issues I see with a lot of the other top guards in the league.
But
Maybe less in some areas than other. Obviously, there could be a more efficient scorer. Obviously, there can be a guy who is better than Trae Young defensively. But who Trae Young is as a point guard, as a player, I don't think he's too far off from the elites.
so what I'm saying is on the other side of that though, if there are aspects of the game that they are exceeding in or making up in, or just fuck it, like I said, if I put X, Y, and Z guard, whoever the comp guard is, on a different team, the path to them being ported into another team is much clearer to me than Trey Young. I don't know if you throw Trey Young on some of these teams that the whole scheme doesn't, the offensive scheme at least doesn't have to change because now we have Trey Young.
Give me an example of a team.
What team will get worse?
Wait,
What
Omar.
team gets worse with Trey Young? I just
Yeah,
Omar,
want to
that's
know
I
that.
that's
missed
You
the
can throw
bit
that
of.
nigga
he's a
on another
floor
team.
Damn,
No,
raiser.
no, no.
damn,
Can I
damn,
ask? Can I
damn,
just
damn.
ask
Wait,
Can
a
he
can I
answer
just
question?
my
hold on,
question
hold on.
first?
No,
Can
I'm
he
just trying to
answer my
ask a
question
question real
first?
quick.
No,
Damn.
Damn,
wait.
Damo,
I
can
just want
I
to know
ask
what his
first?
issue is. Dom, what's his issue, bro? Can you tell me like what are your issues, Omar? What's your issues with Rayford?
Oh yeah,
Oh, my
you gotta
question.
catch up. Yeah, you gotta
Didn't that
catch
nigga
up.
already say it?
Yeah, I'm not doing
Holy
No,
it.
fuck.
I wasn't here. Can you
Oh
just
well,
give me a
Damn,
quick?
nigga,
Omar,
you
just
gonna
well
have to
no,
scroll.
bring your own
Omar, just
yeah,
perspective
scroll
then.
over real
You
you
quick.
just
gotta
gonna have
catch
to
up.
listen, nigga.
Yeah,
You
you're
just
gonna
gonna
have
have to
to catch
listen.
up. Yeah, you gotta
Can
catch
you
up.
give the team? Give the team.
Jesus, you gotta catch up.
Yeah, let's
No,
just
I
go
know
through
Um,
what
the
I
team.
know what the issues are with Trey. I just want to see what yours are, bro. I ain't gonna cap with you.
what
What
Omar,
the
just say
team?
it
fuck?
real quick. He's gonna.
What team gets worse with Trey Young?
Yeah,
Yeah, what team
Yeah.
gets worse?
What team, if you put him on, like you said, it just wouldn't. You don't see it working out. You don't see him fitting. Whatever it is. What team is it?
I think the Pacers get worse.
Nigga, you're not
They have.
Omar.
We're talking about
Bruh.
teams with no point
Nigga,
guards.
I'm trying to maybe, and also maybe I just don't like because the Oklahoma City like there's a lot of teams, Damo. I don't think
Bruh.
that's what
Stop.
I'm
All
saying.
right,
Like
all
the
right, all right, all
Rockets,
right.
I could
The
easily see
Thunder.
Don't
Trey
be
Young on the
disingenuous.
Rockets.
No, but that's why I'm really asking.
A team that has a worse point guard than Trey Young, that if he goes there fits the description of what you said with Trey
Okay,
Oh,
Young.
that's
okay.
what you're asking. Yeah,
this
okay,
nigga
okay.
said
I think.
Yeah,
Oklahoma
that's
City
different.
Thunder?
Yeah, that's different. I mean,
Yeah,
I
that's a
guess
little.
The Brooklyn Nets would be better. The Toronto Raptors
Well,
would be.
do you think he's better
Here
than
this nigga
Garland?
go.
Yeah,
Damn, can I answer the question? Jesus
Well,
Yo,
that's a
Christ!
good
let Omar
question.
get
Is
it
he better
off.
than Garland?
No, it's
All
not.
right, so we can't.
That's not a good question,
I'm sorry,
OG.
Omar. I thought we could have an actual
Yeah, I know. I
conversation.
know.
Let him get it off.
So we might have
Man,
to.
y'all monkeying it up.
yeah. Let that nigga finish his thing real quick.
What's
Um,
the teams?
I mean, the Nets would be better. The Raptors would be better. Um, the Wizards would be better. Uh,
All right, let's go up to the good teams.
the
What is
Trailblazers,
this?
but
That's why I said
but that's the
Garland, bro. Niggas
problem.
said
That's
I
the
asked a
problem.
bad question, and now you talking about go
The
to the good teams.
Trailblazers will be better. The Jazz will be better.
He's trolling,
Um,
bro.
I'm not trolling. He said the
Shaq,
worst
hey,
one.
would Minnesota be better, Omar? Would Minnesota be better?
How about is there any team that
No,
he's
No,
Minnesota would not be better.
They
That's a
won't be
lie.
better, even though they have
That's how I
Trae.
know you don't watch
but is
Minnesota
the
games
The
Cavs
because
question
Pelicans,
Mike
better than
Conley
Garland?
cannot play
the
defense. What
Pelicans
up?
will be better.
That
Um,
can you name a team at all that would be worse? Like any
no,
team
Omar.
that
He
that
said the Timberwolves, and I just don't agree
Omar,
with
do you
that.
think he's better than Garland? Because that I'm trying to see if the Cavs fits. That's why I asked the question. Do you think he's better than Garland?
probably not. I'm taking Darius Garland.
Okay,
This
then
is
the
What?
Okay,
Cavs don't count.
okay,
That's a
okay. He
See,
terrible
Because if
trolling.
take.
you
That's
think
Okay.
he
not.
what's wrong
no
with
no
this
because
nigga?
if he thinks he's better than Garland, like a lot of people do, if you put him on the Cavs,
Oh,
will the Cavs be worse? That was
Nigga
the point of the
clearly
question.
better than Garland. Ah,
I
Well,
think,
wouldn't he be? Well,
and Damo, you're right. I am sorry. This is not, uh, but
like
I
Omar, I'm
think
not trying to troll. I'm trying to have a
no,
genuine
no, no. I
conversation.
understand. I understand. Damo asked a direct question. I
Y'all
was
niggas
giving
up
I
you
here
asked a
acting
direct
like
questions.
I'm
question and
bogus.
18 niggas answered, asked questions, and
Yes.
answered questions. That's just crazy.
I'm still trying to figure out which
Ultimately,
team.
I think what and I think what niggas is saying, like, I guess in a vacuum, Darius Garland isn't as good as Trey Young. Cool. But what he's tasked with doing on that Cavs team versus what Trey Young, like, I think Trey Young would just give less effort. Like, I think,
that's a
uh, uh,
hypothetical though.
I mean, he has the opportunity to give more effort on Atlanta. He just doesn't.
He does it all the
I
time.
mean,
Okay.
I know.
I
I've
think,
seen it. I've dead
bro, the
ass seen
whole
it.
year isn't this his like best defensive year or some shit?
Yes,
yeah.
What does that
Like that's just
mean?
not true.
the nigga is trying to get
Well,
better
I mean, he's
defensively when you put a
trying, but
defensive nigga around him like Dyson Daniels. That's what it means.
a
Um,
lot of it though is that the Hawks put a defensively slanted lineup around him, right? And you see it like in big games like this where they kind of need somebody else to do something on offense, and they can't really get their game off. And even when DeAndre, I said DeAndre just moved up. Even when even when Trae is, quote unquote, trying on defense, that shit not really moving anybody. He goes from the worst defender of all time to just maybe the worst defender in the league, right? Like that's not really doing anything. And you see in an example like we just saw, bro, he just gave Davion Mitchell a wide open three, then gave him the rebound, then gave him another
But
wide
that
open
didn't
three.
lose the game though. Niggas got to actually
That's
watch
not
this
the
No, but the
game.
point.
game was
That's
No,
still
not
no,
the.
I
no,
mean,
no,
But
no.
that's
But
not.
Let me.
No. And I'm not gonna let you finish because I promise you this was just gonna be a quick monologue. And my woman was coming home, and it was. That's the problem, though, and this is why you don't draft nor enable nor keep these guys for a long time. Again, and maybe you missed it. Maybe Trey missed it too. We're gonna have a little bit more discourse after this, but I promise you, I don't want to. I'm not bogging this down. This is an organizational issue. You don't enable a 5'8" guy for this long. It's been 30 fucking years. Having him as the one, the head of the ship, all that shit. The ship has sailed. You made the mistake already. Correct the mistake by starting over. Just rectify the decision that you've made. Just start over. It's not Trey Young is literally not gonna get any better. I swear to God, the peak of Atlanta Hawks basketball with Trey Young on the team has been seen. You've got to get over it. You literally have to get over it.
That's a horrible take to say, and to say the ship has sailed. It hasn't fucking sailed yet because they just broke down the team literally after you seen him do some good things and that Eastern Conference Finals run. Niggas forget they
that's
broke
a
down that.
fake.
Gates, that was 30 years ago.
That's a fake run.
Are
That's
we
a
really
fake
calling
run.
that
That's a fake
Eastern
run.
Conference final run
That's a
Hold
fake
on.
run.
are we
That's a
talking
fake
Hold
run.
on. Just Jates, you were in 11th grade when the Hawks went to the Eastern Conference Finals. There was a premium on masks, N95 masks. Okay? Ghost kitchens were a prevalent thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? What you're saying does not mean anything anymore. Okay? There was one time when I was a kid, I think Michael Redd and the Bucks made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I did not then double down and say Michael Redd is like the second best shooting guard in the league. I just didn't. We knew what happened.
It doesn't matter. I'm not trying to hype up that ECF run. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to say the team from that point, they broke down the fucking team and they sold all them niggas off that was actually helping him. They dealt them niggas away in bad fucking deals. It's an organizational failure. And I'm just saying that this organization is fucking trash. And
So we're
first of
You know
all,
they
saying so
ran
we're
it back in
so we're
22 when
saying
they
this
got
so we're
gentlemen's
saying
block,
this, yeah,
right?
and they did run it back. But so we're saying the same thing. What's the argument here? What do you
there
what,
is the only arguments as I'm saying is that Trae Young, he's been in this bad organization and he hasn't really had a full system around him where we've seen a great defensive team around him. Where you saw with like niggas like Luca who have some of the same flaws, even though they're like what 6'8", 6'7", they got the same flaws, the same shitty defense. You put them around like other defensive niggas, you put them in a good system, you get all this good shit around them, and you see what they can do. And you have to give those niggas second options like Kyrie Irving. You got to go out and you got to do these moves. The Hawks have never fucking done that. They have
Trey Young's
never
not a
done
number
that.
one game. That's the main
Jace, at
It,
the
thing.
end
it,
of the day, the Hawks aren't competent enough to do it, so I'm with Omar. Trade him. If you're not a competent enough
and that's
One
organization to
thousand,
fine.
no,
do it,
1,000%. You
And
have
that's
to trade him.
fine.
One
And
thousand percent.
that's fine. But niggas saying the ship has sailed, they can trade them in like
Jace, why do you care? Why do you care if the
I
same
can't
conclusion is to be made? The Hawks are a bad
I care.
organization, or if this nigga wants to blame Trey
Because
Young. Regardless, he needs
they're
to
a
move
bad
on.
organization now.
But Jace,
They're
regardless, they need to move on from him. Whether it's because of
no
the organization
hold
or
on.
because niggas don't believe in him, they need to move on from him. What are we
No, okay,
arguing
okay.
for?
I'm saying they were a bad organization, but even right now, when they're doing some good things, they're going to like a different direction, and then you see them trying
These
to
niggas
like
still have Clint Capella gang they ass.
yeah, and they can deal them away, like they can deal them
They should
away.
have
They
been
can.
dealt them away. They
I know
haven't. That's
they.
the
They
I
tried.
problem.
Nobody wants him.
nobody really wants that nigga. They can
Nigga,
try.
cut him. I don't care. They should
Okay,
have
okay,
Clint Capella.
they can do that too, and they can. I think they need to go get another center to help complement Younger
Gang,
Okongwu,
but
a real
Jace,
gang,
shot
but
blocking
Jace,
nigga.
but
they
Jace.
don't need
Omar,
another center,
please, bro,
bro.
please, can I get this
Yeah,
off?
I'm
They need
about
an
to
actual
and
first
Damo
option.
had his hand up first, and I want to also get to Corey. But Jates, what you're asking for is a Disney Channel original movie
It's not though.
level
They're doing it
miracle.
right now.
I promise you, whatever players that they're bringing in are not going to be enough. We're talking. I'm assuming the expectation is championship. Well, hell, I guess the expectation is 6 seed, right? Solidified playing, right? That might be the
No,
Hawks' expectation. Dog, you would have to literally explain to me what players I would like names and everything that could be put around Trey Young to get to this goal of yours. That makes you
any
say
good defensive team
no,
and a real
no,
second
please,
option.
please, please. I need names.
Magic.
Fuck it. To really get this nigga going, you probably just need what? A fucking backup point guard. You can get a Mike Conley nigga in there to help run, the non Trey Young minutes, so we can actually get somebody else who can score when this nigga goes to the bench. You can go get a real shot blocking center, like anybody. You can draft any of these niggas coming up in the draft. Just really any fucking center besides Clint Capella, old bitch ass. You can go and you can just go get better role
That is
players.
not true. Oh my God, that's not true.
How's that
Why
not
y'all letting him
true?
do this?
The
Can we
nigga,
please let the hands
the
go,
nigga said
Omar? I'm
one name.
begging,
The nigga
bro.
said one name. Go ahead,
He said
Damo.
one name, then just start naming archetypes. If they
Hold on.
go get Mitchell Robinson, who's a shot blocking center, but he keep breaking his damn fibula, they're in the same situation. Man, shut up. God damn. You
Hold on,
basketball niggas
real
piss me
quick.
off.
I just wanted
Niggas
to.
just be up here wanting to talk. God damn.
That's the whole
You
point of
get
this
any
fucking
center,
space.
the
Omar, can
blood
you
shots. He get Nick Claxton, then what? Just be mid? He's a
Omar, can
shot
you
blocking
restate
center,
your
ain't he?
question, please?
Jesus Christ.
I just wanted names from Jates that
Nigga
put
said Mike Conley.
that put the Hawks in whatever realm people think they're in.
Omar, can I get this off, bro? If Dom not trying to talk, can I get this off?
I damn
Because
sure wasn't about to talk about basketball. Go ahead, gang.
there's been a lot of lying in this last like 10 or so minutes, and I don't understand why we're doing this shit.
This nigga about to yap too.
No. I'm not. First off, I don't think Atlanta's been the best organization. Trading for first, I said it at the time, for DeJounte Murray, unbelievable stuff. He's a bad player, always has been, right? That was an unbelievably bad trade. The John Collins contract, unbelievably bad, right? Don't get it twisted. They haven't been perfect. However, comparing Trae Young to Luka Doncic, I don't even know. That is where Atlanta fails because they think this nigga is remotely close to that level of player, and he simply isn't. And before you about to say, "Oh, but I'm not saying that," my problem is that Atlanta and Trae Young fans, right, and Trae Young supporters, you want to build a team that elevates his heliocentric tendencies, but he's not good enough to be running a heliocentric team because he shoots like 45% from two and he's 5'11 and he can't see over the top and he shoots like shit anytime he plays against a good team. So like what are we doing here? You can get all these good defenders, the Mike Conleys, the OG Anunoby, whatever you want to name, the Rudy Gobert, you can get whatever you want to name, bro. But as soon as April and May comes and he's shooting below 40%, who are you going to look at, bro? Like seriously, like who are you going to look at? You blamed Atlanta for trading these guys. You know why they traded them? Because as soon as they got into the 22 series where they ran it back and saw a series team, what happened? Trae Young had one of the worst series of all time. That's not hyperbole. So what are we talking
This
about right
nigga's
now?
yapping.
Man, that shit don't
If
even
you
fucking
I
if
matter
mean,
what you
he's
said.
saying shit that makes sense, bro. You can't have Trae Young. If you're Atlanta, if you're the Hawks, bro, you gotta stop acting like Trae Young's the first option, bro. Like everything Ad said is facts. The niggas is like barely 6'1", barely 6 foot, and he like everything Ad said is correct, bro. So you
if
have
you
to.
take just real quick, Trey, and you can follow. If you take Shea off of the Thunder and put Trey Young in that position, those guys are worse. They're way worse. Like that team and their overall ceiling is just worse. It's Trey Young, y'all. Like I don't even he has inherent flaws. He just does.
I mean, well, you said take a top 5 player. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but
But I mean, way
um,
worse, Trey. I understand. I understand. Shea
yeah.
could be top two,
Well,
three
their
naturally.
point is
Trey
that
Young is
Trey
like a
fans like
top.
to
Like
get
I said,
themselves into
like I
those
replied to you,
convos.
Trey Young like a top 6 guard.
Why are we
He's
replace?
still
Why
very,
are we
very
even
good.
being a
Six.
hypothetical
You
replacing
don't
his
think he's
first
top
option
6?
with a third
Nigga,
option?
we can go lower.
Dumb.
I don't think I wouldn't say that.
I
But
think niggas just
you
oh
gotta
yeah.
out, bro. The Hawks, if the Hawks are not gonna treat Trey Young like the second option that he really is, maybe third, then you have to trade him. That's at the point you trade him. But
How do you
as
find out a
far
guy
as
is a second option?
huh,
I
How
just
do
don't.
you find out a guy is a second option?
But I also
when shit like this happens,
I'm sorry. Let me also
When
just
shit
last
say
like
this.
this
5 years.
happens, man, come
Let me
on.
say this too. And I saw Corey and then Bren. Y'all can go. I also think it would be a bad idea for your second option to be 5'8". I just think that that's a bad idea.
Well, I mean, he's a guy that can give you 30 and 10 on
It
any
He
given
depends
can
night,
upon
bro.
the
cover
We
from
got to
circumstance.
height.
stop with this 30 and
See,
10
this is the
shit,
shit
bro.
I'm saying. Niggas
He's a
start
guy.
stretching it.
But what do you mean? He's a high assist and
Yeah, because he
a
has the
high volume
ball and
scorer.
some of the
Like,
most in NBA history, bro. This isn't real basketball, man.
This
okay, so
isn't
as a
real
second
basketball, but
option,
the
But he
nigga
can
playing
still
What
it.
are you
pass though.
And
That's
it,
all
talking
right.
about?
and
As a
again,
second
second, I'm
option, he
again,
saying
can't give
niggas
you
getting this
24 and
bullshit
10.
off.
a
Like
five
obviously
eight,
he's not
a
giving you
5'8"
30 every season, but he can't give you 24 and 10.
No, obviously he can scale
as a
down, but
second
like the
option.
30 and 10 shit, like
Yes,
don't
that's a
say
second
that this is
option.
like Luka Doncic, bro.
Nigga,
This
I'm
is
I'm
not
the
saying
reason
What
that
he
okay
I said
said,
he can give you like
when
Luka.
I'm
22. I
saying he's
think
a
Trae
guy who
Young
can
can give
give
you
you 30 and
24 as a
10.
second option.
What I mean by that
But
is
then
I'm
these
not
dumb
saying
niggas
he's
don't believe
Luka
that though, Mo.
Doncic. He's not that good. But what I'm trying to say is he can give you great scoring volume while also giving you great assist volume.
I do think the Hawks have done him a disservice not getting him a real number one scoring option. All right, like I think they've done him a real disservice doing that,
Yeah.
but whatever.
But
I
what
mean,
y'all are
who would they
saying, and
get
Corey,
though?
I promise you, you can go right after this. Well, we about that same thing. The other problem is again a 5'8" second option. In theory, 25. You could throw the
Why you
stats.
keep giving this nigga 4 inches less than his height, bro?
Wait, how he's 5'8".
He's
Nigga, he's
no
This
nigga.
nigga is
6 foot.
He's
not 5'8".
5'11.
Bro, nigga
This
six
nigga,
Oh,
the
one.
I'm
nigga
sorry.
is a
I'm
solid
sorry.
6 foot, bro.
No,
No,
he's
he's not six
not.
feet,
No,
bro. He's
he's
How
5'8.
not.
you know
He's
he's
not
not?
six
Look
Listen,
what
feet.
the
listen,
nigga.
listen, listen.
He's listed at
Listen,
6 foot,
listen.
6'1".
I don't care to argue that. A 5'8" second option with all the theoretical
Still
numbers is
said it.
cool. If you insert whatever number one option, it just makes it so much harder. 9 times out of 10, your number one
Hold
option
on,
isn't going to
hold
be
on.
fan. Go ahead, Brent, please.
Let me ask you. Jalen Johnson goes to the Milwaukee Bucks for Giannis Antetokounmpo. You're saying that Trae Young would not be a great second option with this team?
To be honest with you, no.
What type of
That's
shit is
nasty.
that?
What?
That
Nah,
shit
That's
don't make no
nasty.
fucking sense.
What don't make sense?
Wait, Trey wouldn't be a good second option with Giannis?
That's what I'm asking. And
Yeah,
No, he
Omar
wouldn't.
agrees.
saying no is what doesn't make fucking
Um,
sense.
Okay, I was
Well,
making
it's
sure.
it's
that's
not
just
really
hate,
because of
bro.
Trey. It's because Giannis isn't really a roller, and Trey
yeah,
needs a pick and roll partner.
yeah.
So
and he's
Did
not
y'all not
banned.
just see what Onyeka Okongwu did? Are we
Yeah,
blind,
Onyeka's a
boys?
roller.
Giannis
Giannis is a
can
roller to the
barely set
basket.
screens, my
Giannis can
nigga.
run the floor.
Giannis barely knows how to set screens, game.
That's fine. To
That's
me,
Onyeka's on
not
the,
that's
he's saying
fine,
number one
Onyeka's
gang.
on
option
the
because we
court
all
That's
too.
agree.
not
Everybody
that's
in here
not
can
fine
agree.
at all, gang. Why you think the
Everybody in here
damn
can
Giannis
agree
shit
that
don't
Trae
really
Young is
work?
not a first option.
Known
That's
pick and
fine.
roll screen merchant is fine without a screener.
Yeah, like what are we talking about, bro?
That nigga didn't send Onyeka Okongwu away. That's what he's
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, nah, yeah. Trae Young just gonna start going crazy with no screens, gang. Yeah, nah, I
Why
mean,
y'all saying no
It's
What
screen?
would
not.
you be
Why?
sending in
Why are
in
we?
a
Hold on. Why are
Giannis
we acting
deal?
like he's just gonna automatically stop? Just stop. That's
And
all.
let me and also let me
Giannis
also
can't set screens.
Yeah, but he's the
I tell you
Why are we
what
forward.
I tell
acting
you
like
what I tell you
okay?
what we'll
But
do.
Giannis.
Wait, listen. I tell you what we'll do. Cool, that's fine. So the one answer and the one fit for Trae Young is Giannis Antetokounmpo in the league. That's the only way that Trae Young makes any team relevant or whatever. Him as the second
I
option or
Well, that's
whatever.
not
disagree.
true. He makes Minnesota way
Anthony
better.
Davis.
I wouldn't even say
He
that.
makes
I would say there's a
Minnesota. He
lot.
makes
Anthony Davis,
Cleveland.
you said, Damo?
Anthony Davis. If Anthony Davis was his first option, I think he cooks.
Oh yeah, for sure, 1000%.
He fits perfect with Anthony Davis.
So we have two scenarios in which Trae Young is
Niggas don't fuck with
effective
Victor
for
Wembanyama.
real, for
I
real.
thought niggas wanted
Yeah,
them to pair
Trey
up too.
Trey in San Antonio fits perfectly. Trey in a lot of scenarios fits perfectly, bro.
I mean,
Yeah,
Trey
so
in
that
Orlando
Paolo.
fits perfectly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
he don't want to
Trey is
go
I
not
there.
no ass nigga, bro. Like we gotta stop acting like
And
like
we
I'm not
forgetting
liking
and
I'm not
again
liking
Gafford.
this
and
maybe
slander
Like
as
Trey
in
Young on the
maybe
Minnesota Timberwolves is like
maybe
leagues
y'all are
renowned.
missing what I'm saying intentionally. Any of these situations aren't making this team like raising the
so
expectations or ceiling or
It
you're
whatever.
is,
Trey
bro.
Young
saying
raises
It
Yes,
the
hold
it
on, you're
is.
1000%
saying
Trey
a
Young
is,
lineup
bro.
raises
of
the
Trae
expectations of
Young.
Orlando.
You're saying a
He
lineup of
absolutely
Trae
does.
Young, Dyson Daniels, ZR, Anthony Davis, and Onyeka Okongwu can't be contenders.
It's a play contenders for what?
A championship,
Bro,
Omar.
with Anthony
Contenders for a birthday
Davis.
party, nigga. What does you
We
mean?
trolling. We
Again,
trolling, bro.
No
Omar.
one's trolling.
Trey
Omar,
Young on
Wait,
the
stop.
Trey
nigga,
Young
what are
on the
you talking?
Orlando Magic
Maybe you just don't
raises
recognize
expectations.
greatness, man, and that's okay.
Well, they're not being
Trey
awesome,
Young, Trey Young and Anthony Davis with the rest of the Hawks lineup make them a contender for the NBA championship.
yes,
With some
nigga.
growth
Well,
and develop,
nah,
with
the
some growth and
roster
Why
Didn't that
wouldn't?
nigga
Why
development,
Damo
wouldn't
just
they?
say
with
the
some
Why
with
Orlando
wouldn't?
growth and
Magic
So
though?
development.
wait.
Yes.
Why is a team where we have Dyson Daniels and AD defensively with Trey Young on offense playing the point?
Two
Not,
all defensive first team
not,
Because
players.
you still
not.
got a
Why
Congu
is
and
that not
Ricochet.
they
fucking with
don't have depth.
Cleveland?
They have
Why?
a
Yeah,
Why
I
do
can
lot
make
of
a
that
depth.
shit?
Congo.
Like,
Why
why
are
is
we
that not
acting
fucking
like
with
okay?
Cleveland?
First off, you clearly didn't see
Nigga,
this
I can make a
bonus
Congo ass.
masterclass
He
on
just threw
Onyeka
that out
Okongwu.
there.
Okay, I mean
Nigga, Congu mid. I ain't trying to hear that shit.
Uh,
Nah,
Damo,
Congo
you
Congo
just
is
is,
don't
but
know
mid,
the
bro.
nigga
ball,
got
bro.
like
I
You
25
don't know
I
assists.
ball
tell
on
you
Onyeka.
what
That's
I
fine.
tell you what if that's what you believe, I don't care to debate it.
But wait, no, but
It's all
why?
fantasy. It's all fantasy and
It's
jerk
not.
off material
Okay, what
anyway.
about Trey Young on the Magic though?
Trey Young the Magic doesn't do
Thank
shit.
you. Trey Young on the
Niggas
Magic
suck.
raises expectations. I'm
That's
gonna
a
keep saying
championship
it.
Paulo
team.
No,
Bencaro
it's
only
That's
not.
a
played ISO mid range
championship
Bro,
Yeah, that's
what
a
are
team.
you,
team.
Paulo
championship
Bencaro is
nigga?
gonna
series.
make him
The
a
Magic
non-absolute.
suck on offense, gang. Trey Young's not fixing
They
that shit.
Listen
Trey
Trey
Young
that's
Young
a
is
can't
they
not
do fun.
fixing that shit.
Are
That
y'all
It's
nigga
You're
been
are
on
listen,
the
saying
y'all
Trey
listen.
Spurs.
Young is
listening? Are
not
y'all
fixing Paulo
listening to
Bencaro.
what these? Are y'all listening to what people are saying? Championship team
Trey
and
Young and Paulo
contenders.
Banchero and Franz Wagner.
I'm
Gang,
sorry.
the
If
Hawk,
that is
bro.
what the standard is
You
now,
gave the
raising it to
Magic
a
the Hawks front,
championship
my nigga.
team, because what was said before was raises
Not
the expectation
championship
of the
team. I
team.
Oh
mean
no,
contender,
no,
not championship.
Damo, I agree.
They're
These
not
niggas are
contenders.
saying championship
Okay,
team
No,
not
don't say these
championship
niggas. It was
and
contender.
one nigga,
Contender,
bro.
contenders.
It
contender.
was one nigga, bro. It was one nigga.
Bruh, contender,
And
contender.
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead,
need
Not
you
DeAndre.
no, the
please.
bro,
Go.
nigga. The
Trey
Magic
DeAndre,
Young
are
can be a
please.
the
one B
Magic are like one of the worst
or
Nah, I
teams on
just
offense.
you
I'm
don't
gonna try.
you
I'm gonna.
don't think
Trey
Trey
Young
Young can
doesn't
be a
fix
second
that.
option on a championship
Oh
Okay,
team?
wait.
Trey and Bren, please. DeAndre, go.
No, I just think it's the Trae Young discourse has always been funny to me. It's pretty easy to see what he is and isn't on a basketball court. When you're a heliocentric player and you've been one since you were 14 years old, it's really hard to revert back from those habits. The reason why he can't be a second option is the simple fact he can't shoot, catch, and shoot threes. He took one a game this year on 33% from the field. So the moment I take the ball out of his hands, Trae Young is no longer Trae Young. The things that make him so great as a passer, pick and roll operator, he can't do that off the ball. Those are all things that require him to have the ball in his hands consistently. So unless you are putting him with an all-time play finisher that is going to stay healthy for 82 games, it's really hard to build a team that is him as the number one option and it's hard to find a team that where he can be the second option for a consistent period of time. Like all these stars that you throw out, all these names, even Wemby, like it's Wemby, so it probably would work, right? That's why the hype behind San Antonio was crazy last year. It probably would work with Wemby, but Wemby's not like if Trae Young built a pick and roll partner, it'd be Derek Lively. It wouldn't be Wemby, but I'm not winning anything with Trae Young and Derek Lively. Like there are just so many things that hold Trae Young back. And on the defensive end, somebody brought up Luka's a bad defender. Luka's 6'7", 200 and whatever pounds he is whenever he walks around. It's different picking on that guy than it is picking on a guy that is my height and my weight. Like that's me walking around on an NBA basketball court getting hunted by 6'5", 6'6" guards consistently to where and I got to give the Atlanta Hawks credit for the defensive schemes and what Quinn Snyder did. The amount of times they have to peel switch Trae Young off of players where Dyson Daniels is turning his head every 5 seconds trying to find out where Trae Young is at so he can peel over there and peel over here, pre-switching Trae Young on everything. That complicates your defense so much. And when they lose Jalen Johnson and that personnel that helped out that defense even more, you see how much worse it gets when they don't have the ideal personnel. It's just a bad conundrum for Trae Young. Like the worst thing that ever happened to Trae Young is God didn't make him 6'3". The moment he came out and God said you're going to be 5'11", 160 pounds, that was it for him. Like, there was nothing else he could do as a basketball player consistently. This is probably the best Trae Young is going to be. This is probably the most Trae Young can get you to. He's a great floor raiser because how he plays the game of basketball, heliocentric offense, can get you enough wins against enough teams in the right context. But really winning meaningful games at meaningful times against meaningful opponents, there's just no real pathway for it if he continues to play like this. And then you don't go out and say, well, I got to get Wemby. I got to get such and such. And those guys aren't available. So that's the Trae Young experience for real. You're going to be the eighth seed, man. Like, y'all going to get that playing revenue
AC,
consistently.
nigga, they were back-to-back years of whatever, man.
Back-to-back years of what?
Weren't they
Of not
10?
being
Saying
in the
Oh,
playoffs.
yeah, they
he's
were.
talking.
They
That's
were.
what
Yeah, he's
you
talking
were.
about 10
Back-to-back years of not being in the playoffs. That's what you were.
eighth seed is a ceiling. Thank you, DeAndre. I think that you're a very sensible young man when it comes to Hawks matters.
Is
That
he
was
on your
very
side?
eloquently said.
Sensible
No, no,
young
no,
man.
Omar,
because
he dead said this. Whatever, bro.
I know, but he said he said it more eloquently.
You
Nigga,
wanted your credit ass. You wanted
And
to say he was a good young man.
I'm gonna say this.
nigga said you can't get your thoughts
This was
off.
after exposing everybody's fantasy land scenario. If we can get Paolo and AD, and if Dyson Daniels becomes a 45% 3-point shooter, then of course Trey Young can be a second option. God, come on, brother. It's cool. Like Corey, I don't know. Maybe you live in Atlanta, so maybe this is why this hits home for you so much. But hey, I've been here. I've been there, done that. Bought the T-shirt. It's over. What you've seen with Trey, I promise you, this is the peak, gang. This is it.
It's not over, bro. Just
Where
wait till the
y'all where
draft,
y'all
bro. Come on.
messed up? Where y'all
Nigga, they
messed up
gonna
at?
come right back.
What's gonna happen in the draft? Explain to
I
me.
mean, we
Get a
gonna
Explain
we
to
center.
me.
gonna
We
have
Go
don't.
get a
Nah,
center.
we get a
a
center.
lottery
We get a
protected
center. We
first.
build depth,
I mean, regardless,
and we come back.
And
A
I
s-
mean,
even
they get Derek
y'all are
Queen. I'm a
tweaking.
fan.
Stop.
all right.
I ain't gonna lie.
And
so
Stop.
a,
even
s-
Derek Queen is not.
a
Derek
rookie
Queen is not
center
finna
is
disgrace
about
this
to
Derek
this
do.
team.
Lively was a rookie.
Wait. A rookie center is about to do what for the Hawks?
help him out.
Everything. He's
He's
gonna
gonna
be our
be a
best player. If
beast.
it's Derek Queen, he's our best player.
Derek Queen is not helping this team.
No, but again,
You're
I
not a
know
believer.
I know everything help out. I want some tangibles.
Listen,
Does that make them what, the seventh seed now?
listen, boy.
Six,
Y'all get
seven.
Derek Queen,
I
y'all
mean, we
fortunate.
would have been six seed if
Jalen
Jalen
Johnson
Johnson
not
didn't
going
get
out. This
Just
injured.
team is
wait
a
and
top
see
five
about the
seed.
fucking
Let's
tangibles.
be honest.
We'll probably be top 5
A top 5 seed.
Jalen Johnson
With
not
Derek
going
Yeah.
out.
Queen, yes, absolutely.
if people are
Gang,
Jalen
healthy.
just
Johnson,
But
trade
if
Trae Young,
Jalen
bro.
Johnson doesn't go out this season, and this team is still the same way constructed, this can be a top five. You look at the win differences. It's not it's
What the
not it's
fuck are
not
you
too
I
talking
don't know
large.
about,
about that.
It's possible.
He's talking about Jalen Johnson just not being injured.
Gang, I didn't want to say
bro?
anything, bro.
Jalen Johnson's
Somebody
been
said
injured for
adding
2 years,
Derek
G.
Queen. Dog, if you add a fat, undersized, non-rim protecting center who
see,
needs the
I didn't
ball in
say
his
Derek
Derek
hand,
Queen.
Queen. Derek Queen
like
is
Yeah,
that
I
doesn't
said
Derek
Derek
Queen
work
Queen.
will be
at
Don't worry
one of
all.
the
about it. I
worst
don't
draft
expect
picks of
y'all to
this
know
team.
ball. It's fine. It's fine. I'm
I
Gang,
always
love
fair.
Derek
gang.
I'm
Queen.
always
I
fair
love
with
Wait,
Derek
young
Damo,
Queen.
players.
I
It's
love
fine.
Derek
Just
Queen.
stay
Damo,
on
But
that
like,
Damo,
side. When
Damo.
I
Derek
no
Queen go
Damo
over here
Damo.
killing
I
it, stay
love
on that
Derek
side.
Queen. I
Don't worry
love
about it.
Derek Queen. He don't fit in Atlanta.
He
But
fits
look
on
though,
every team in the NBA, buddy. There's no team where
That
Derek Queen don't
uh,
fit. Don't worry about
look,
it.
stop. I
gang,
ain't gonna lie,
if you
stop.
have to, but look,
Shout out
like
Derek Queen though.
Omar
Love you,
saying,
twin.
if
You
you have
seven
to
on my board.
rely on a rookie center to be your best player or second best player, just trade Trae Young, bro. It's
No,
over.
he's just a piece like Derek
He's
Damn.
just
It
a
Lively.
Shout
don't
out San
matter
piece.
though. Just
Antonio.
trade the
Crazy.
nigga, bro. Like niggas are not providing
Wait,
any
wait,
type
wait.
of
But this is the
scenario that
problem. Y'all
Atlanta
keep
can make
saying
Trae Young a second
trade,
option and
Trey.
win.
You
So
keep
just
saying
trade the nigga.
trade Trey Young. Who wants this nigga?
Nigga,
Trey Young.
Minnesota need that nigga.
The Pelicans will love Trey Young.
Magic.
there ain't a lot
You're
of
not
teams
getting
that got the
anything from the
assets
Pelicans
even
game. If
that
if
would
Trae Young
value.
went to New Orleans, bro, I'm telling you, some voodoo magic gonna happen to the nigga. He never gonna play again. Don't send him there, bro.
Unfortunately, that's the truth. That is the
Also,
truth.
y'all talking about drafting people. They
That's some
don't
voodoo
have their
magic gonna
pick
happen. They gonna
now
back him
or
up.
for the next 4 seasons. And the pick they have from the Kings, if it jumps up above where they are right now, they don't get it. So they're gonna have pick
That's a six
20.
percent chance. Hold on, that's a 6% chance to happen.
Yeah, so
It's
they're gonna
possible. It's
they're
still
gonna have
possible. It's still
they're gonna
possible. It's
have
still
pick
possible.
no, but they're gonna have pick 13.
Which is fine. I mean, that's a lottery
Which
protected pick.
seems
That's
like
not.
where
It's a
That's a
Derek
lottery
White is
lottery
pick.
going to
pick.
go.
It's a lottery
Yeah,
pick, but like it's
that
pick
can get you Colin
13.
Murray, Bulls. That
You
can
can
get
get
you
a
all
role
types of
player in the
things.
lottery.
You
Regardless,
get it, but what is that role player gonna do for this team?
You can get you a
Help you
sleeper in the
win
lottery.
playoff
You can
games.
get a
Like,
sleeper at
you can
13.
get you a great. And not only
I'm
that,
gonna be honest. The pathway for the Hawks is hoping Zachary Reese has some type of outlier development on the ball. That he
bro, the
proves
reason
that
why
draft class wrong.
So
Gang.
so
I
It's
so
don't think
what?
it's
what
going. I
every
don't think
scenario y'all are saying is
with
leading to
Zachary
trading
with
Trae Young,
Zachary's
bro.
off ball movement, his IQ. You
That nigga
already
not
see.
even gonna get
Everybody
traded.
can see that
It's
he's gonna be
crazy.
a
It's
great
It's
off
crazy
ball
clear he
how we
don't even
player.
want to be
started.
there, gang.
It's
On
What
ball,
y'all
crazy.
about to
It's
With
do?
crazy
players,
how we
niggas
started
say
the
that
space.
every
It's
time.
crazy how we started the space, thinking that I was crazy, and we're coming to a yo. Who is moving trash?
I don't know. You
Oh,
still
that's
crazy
me.
as
I thought it was.
hell.
We
You still
start.
Yo,
We
crazy
you
as
you're
started.
crazy for
hell.
not
crazy, bro.
thinking. I mean, where do you rank Trae Young? Like top 10,
I
top?
don't. I Trey. It doesn't matter. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, it's pretty important, but never mind.
Not
It's really
really.
not that important.
I'm about to
It
say
really
not
it's
isn't
not.
at
really.
It's not
all.
important, but I am interested in how you
I
view
tell
Trae
you
Young
what.
in
I tell you what.
point
He's.
guard.
He's a top 2 point guard. If being the second best point guard means this is the outcome, I don't give a fuck.
Man, I still think you're wrong about that shit. And you're wrong about that.
I mean, we got rid of Bogey and
Drake,
DeAndre
Jates,
Hunter.
Jates, you
How
can think
wrong can you be about Trae Young?
Real
Jates,
wrong. Real fucking
Jates,
Very,
wrong. That's
you can
how
be very
Jates,
wrong.
wrong about Trae Young.
Jates. You can think that I'm wrong. I'll see you here next year as the Hawks get eliminated from the play-in again.
Let's make a fucking bet about it.
Yeah, I
Fuck all
bet
the
that.
talking.
You trying to put money on the fucking Hawks?
Wait,
Shit.
Jace, can I ask you a question? Because his contract expires next season.
Yeah.
Are you gonna give Trae Young $68 million?
Fuck it. Who else they got?
Shit,
Who is giving Trae Young $68 million though? There's
He
no.
wants the
They
Hawks
don't
to
got that
do it.
market.
the
I'm
Hawks
gonna say
would.
The Hawks
that'd
not
be
do.
the
I know the
supermax
Hawks
if they
not
want to
doing it.
re-sign him. So like, are you gonna give him 68
Cheap
million?
ass team.
Because I'm pretty sure that's what he gets. I think
I
he's
say, ain't he
eligible for
gonna
the
be
supermax.
eligible for a supermax?
Yeah,
Probably.
The
so it'd
super,
be
I'm not
the
gonna hold
super
you.
duper
I'm not
Trade
gonna
max.
hold
that
you. The
my
nigga
Kings
bad. So
Kings
on
is
the
now.
cheap
on
enough
the
that they
back
would
end,
rather let him
on the
walk.
back end, it'll be 80 million. So you're gonna give him 68 million the first year, and about a fifth year where he'd be 31 years old
At
at
five
five foot
eight, at
11.
5'8".
Where are y'all getting
He's
these
gonna be making
numbers?
$80 million.
Bro,
Y'all doing the numbers for real?
Yeah, I mean it's
Wasn't
all the
niggas getting
same for the
58
supermax
million
contract.
this year? It's a 10 mil increase next season. How y'all know that?
Shouts out,
10% cap jump.
Y'all know his
shouts out
money?
to the shouts out to the thing. So Jake, to answer his question, are you giving Trey Young this money?
Shit. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Fuck.
say 68, maybe 62.
Nigga, are you
Yeah.
serious?
Fuck yeah. Why
You gonna trade
not?
him
Fuck it.
68
Let it
M's,
fly.
nigga?
Yeah. He gonna be the richest short nigga around. Now
He
what?
gonna be the rich.
Now
Isn't
now
that
now now
nigga?
now now where we go from here?
Isn't that like the
It
Now
ain't
third
your
now what
largest
money,
niggas gonna
contract
say
in the
Isaiah.
about it?
East?
It ain't your money.
Is that not the third largest contract in the East if he's making
It
68
could be the
M's?
first. Who give a fuck?
He still wouldn't.
Are you dead ass?
He still wouldn't even be the richest short nigga. Kevin Hart would be richer.
I
cap.
don't know about it.
Bro, look, bro. Bro. Yo, nigga, if
You know,
you
I was right.
Yo,
345 over 5
Atlanta's
years.
front
That'd be
office
the
is so
contract.
dumb. They actually might do that, bro. They actually would. Actually, I think they
Giving
would do
Trae
that.
Young $350 million.
Yeah, fuck
What
out
is
of here.
wrong with y'all?
I just
You
want to
saying
ask this
fuck
nigga
out of
Omar
here?
about
Wait,
centers, bro.
so
Y'all niggas in the Trae Young thing.
Highway robbery, nigga. Are
I
we
What
haven't
serious?
seen
center
it,
you
so
got him at?
you're gonna have to wait.
You ain't
Listen,
seen it? I thought you was going today.
get you a woman, man. You gonna see.
I will with my woman. That's crazy.
Yeah, she on punishment now. So
Damn, that's the only reason I'm here. I don't care about Trae Young.
she on punishment now. Don't even worry
Punishment.
about it. Yeah, get you a woman so you can put her on punishment. What the fuck?
Didn't you say center was his ass?
Boy, center.
All right, all right. Yeah. I think. I mean, and I'm mature enough to know. I've been with a woman that's not the best for me, and it was hard to let it go. The sometimes the coochie is good. Ooh, nutmeg. Ooh, three. Ooh, one New York game a year where he has like 38 and zero turnovers. Ooh, it's over. I mean, it's just a flawed player from the beginning. A flawed player going to a flawed organization, and that's where the real mess up is, right? If you're going to be a flawed organization, because again, I think everybody in here would agree that the Hawks haven't done the best job of building. Draft a player who it's a little bit harder to build or a little bit harder to make dumb decisions, right? Just do that instead. Just draft somebody like that. And again, I don't even want to take this to like a Luka Doncic conversation per se. Um, but just not a 5'8", you know, inefficient scoring, turnover prone player who just seemingly at the times when it's needed the most loses his motor, only for Atlanta fans to give excuses. You think that play lost the game? Probably not, but if every year or 2 years we have the same conversation about that play that didn't lose the game, at some point you got to have a conversation about the man. So, y'all have a good night, man. Atlanta, see you next season, I guess. I don't know. Shout out to the Dream. Tahina Papa was a steal, man. 50% 3-point shooter. Fucking demon. Oh, wait. Go ahead, Damo.
I didn't say that. I'm not gonna spoil the movie. I'm not gonna talk about it. I understand you want to watch it. I just need niggas to understand. I didn't say that the movie was ass. Niggas can't read, and now I know niggas can't listen. You misquote audiobooks. You niggas have
Oh
zero
my gosh.
comprehension.